Well, maybe you've already said, but what's the oddest thing that's ever happened at a wedding?
The oddest thing that's ever happened to a
Yeah.
wedding.
What's some odd? Have you ever been rained out?
I've
You can answer either or both. You can answer either or both of those.
Actually, the very odd situation. The beautiful wedding at the Walo Flower Farm. They had a banquet set up. They had about 40 guests. Gazebo out on the point. It was a beautiful day. Okay, let's do the ceremony. We go out to the gazebo. I turn to welcome the group, and it started to pour. I mean, not rain. It poured. The groom was freaking out. The bride was fine. The guests are all in board shorts and T-shirts and sundresses. You know, they were fine. Went through the whole wedding, and at the end, they kissed, and it stopped raining. Blue skies. Fortunately, all the food was covered, but that was quite a surprise. It's not rained out, but certainly rained on.
So how many years now have you been conducting weddings?
Since the year 2000.
2000. And would you like to continue doing weddings? And we were talking, and you were saying that it's there's some challenges now, something to do, fascinatingly enough, with Google.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
There's been a shift in the wedding business here. Over the past couple years, Yahoo and Google redesigned the way that they sort information on the internet. And it used to be that the sites that had the most hits to them rose to the top. In terms of when you put a search, that's what would come up first. And now that is random. So you can put in Maui wedding, and you could just as easily get a Maui wedding coordinator as get a wedding coordinator, let's say in New Zealand, who does destination weddings. And so it's had a huge impact on some of the wedding coordinators, especially the ones who are accustomed to being at the top of the list. Now, of course, you can pay to be in the little gray bar, the little blue bar on the side, $8 to $20 a hit.
That's mind-boggling to me.
Well, it gives Yahoo and Google some advertising money.
Oh boy, yeah, big time money. So, I would love to see you do more weddings, but I guess for right now, it sounds like that's not where your focus is at the moment.
Well, I'm doing the weddings, and I will continue to do them, but I don't see how to do enough weddings to earn my living without becoming a wedding coordinator. And I've decided that I don't want to do that.
Because?
I feel that you spoke in the beginning about that little perfectionism.
Yes.
I have that perfectionist hat.
Yes.
And I feel that it would be very difficult for me to not want every wedding to be perfect. I do them well, but I think it might kill me.
No, that won't work.
Not a good idea.
No. Well, so Maui is your home. So when did you first come to Maui?
I came to Maui first in 1985, and the second my feet touched the land here, I knew I was home. There was really I get something when I'm here. It's a sense of being whole. And I don't really know how to explain it. But I was here with my father, and that was Thanksgiving. And I said, I'm going to live here someday.
What year was that?
1985. Too bad I didn't buy then.
Oh boy.
And it took some time to move here. I moved here in 1998 for permanent residence.
Had you been there in between those two times?
Once or twice a year.
Okay.
Often. But finally figured out that it's better to live here and go to the mainland once or twice a year than vice versa.
Yeah, I know just now you had come back from a trip to New York, and you love New York. That you have a lot of background in New York, and you were actually struggling. Should I move back to New York? Should I stay here? What is it ultimately? What do you love the most about Maui? And when you had to weigh those two out, the choice between New York and everything New York has to offer, the theater, everything that's there that you love, and Maui. How did you make that choice? Because I think you told me you did make the choice that you are going to stay here on Maui. And so tell me what went into making that decision for you, and what is it that you love so much about Maui? What do you love most about Maui?
I love the beauty here. I love the different microclimates. I love in fact, when I'm out in the ocean, I feel most at home. I'm really a water baby.
Yeah.
And it was just listening to my heart and tapping in that New York's a great place to visit, but the air is really bad. And here the air is really wonderful.
And you were
you're caught in a cane burn.
Yeah. In a what? Oh, cane burn. Yeah.
But I love the spirit here. I love the natural beauty. I love the sunsets. I love mountains going into ocean.
And me
Maui
too.
is mountains going into ocean. And so I'm just listening to my heart and deciding to stay here in Maui. It's a sweet place to call home.
Do you like the warm climate as well?
I do.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you decided to stay.
Thank you.
I
Me
really
too.
am. And how have you connected with the Hawaiian culture?
I love the Hawaiian culture, and when I first got here, I had the great fortune of connecting with Auntie Mahialani from the Big Island, studying ancient Hawaiian spirituality and wisdom, learned a little bit of the language, some chant.
What's the name of that? Ho'oponopono?
Ho'oponopono.
Ho'oponopono.
Which literally means making right righter.
And what's the name of the woman that you studied with?
Auntie Mahialani Henry.
Is she still with us? Is she still alive?
She is. She's on the Big Island.
On the Big Island, okay. Yeah. So speak a little bit more about the Hawaiian culture. You studied hula.
I did. I danced a little bit with Ulave Guerrero on his Monday night men's class. Dove into it, and I just love it. And I do well with dance, so I could get in there and move and practice. But it's a life. Hula is a life. It's practice every day. It's a discipline, and I discovered fairly soon that I wasn't willing to make the time to devote a life to it. I didn't have a life to give to it. So I don't dance hula now, but I go see hula any chance I can. I especially like Kahiko, the ancient chant hula. It just gives me chicken skin.
Where might we go to see something like that on the island?
Well, there's regular series at the Cultural Center. Many of the Hawaiian singers come with halaus. And there are also different times where there'll be a hula festival. I actually have a dream of making it over to Hilo for the Merry Monarch some year.
For the
Merry Monarch Festival.
What's that?
It's a big festival of hula. There's actually hula that's studied and performed all over the world. And halaus, schools, come from all over the world to present their hula. And so there's competitions and just showings. It's like the grand recital of hula. And it happens every year in the spring in hula, in Hilo.
Hilo and hula.
Hula in Hilo.
Hula and Hilo. Tongue twister.